Okay, let's just have a very brief uh, interactive session. And this brief interactive session is precipitated by a false publication done by the former aide of Governor Kepukepu, former deputy chief of staff in the Dr. Kepukepu's led government. In the Dr. Kepukepu led government, and Mr. Don Ubani. The man, he captioned what he published. Center flares Alex Otti's disregard for protocols, fairness, for protocols and fairness. Mr. Don Ubani published this write-up on his Facebook page and has since then sent it across in a well-organized manner, the way they behave, to different media houses to get it published. It's been heavily sponsored, by the previous government. It's a dead propaganda. It is some propaganda wherein he alleged that Governor Alex Otti abuses protocol, that Governor Alex Otti has no respect for the president, he has no respect for the office of the president. Don't forget that prior to the tribunal judgment, they came up with a similar propaganda, shared it everywhere, sent it across to APC members to publish on their different platforms. All was geared towards inciting the president and the presidency against the governor. He's fabricated all kinds of things in the latest publication, but it's not different from what he wrote. It's not different from what they had written before the tribunal judgments. You will recall that a few days ago, when I was speaking, I had a live interactive session, and also when I was on air, during a radio program, I also did say that in the next few days and weeks preceding the Supreme Court judgment that will definitely happen early next year, that they will sponsor all kinds of lies, all kinds of propaganda, all kinds of inciting publications against the governor. And that's exactly what they are doing as we speak. That is why they are accusing the president, the governor, of insulting the president. And like we had stated before, this allegation is baseless, is unfounded, is insane to say the least, and it shows how grossly irresponsible the PDP is, the Abia opposition PDP is. These were people who were in power for several years. Now, before the tribunal and court of appeal judgments, they did a publication. They sponsored press conferences wherein they alleged that the governor was a sponsor of IPOB, that the governor, since assumption of office, has been hobnobbing with the IPOB. Of course, that wasn't the first time they would level that allegation. They alleged that the governor had concluded plans to use the IPOB to kill judges, to burn down the courts once the judgment, did not go in his favor. They said all kinds of terrible things. They wanted to incite the federal government against the governor, incite the federal government against our brothers everywhere. They later sponsored another press conference wherein they alleged that Governor Alex Otti was using public funds to finance Mr. P2B's presidential litigations in court. The same Mr. P2B, they were doing everything humanly possible during the election to make their own, to impress, to grab. He is no longer their candidate. He's no longer their choice. They do no longer love him. So you can see how terrible these characters are. They fabricated all kinds of things against us. They have come again ahead of the Supreme Court judgment early next year. So they have sponsored all kinds of publications that will be published in different newspapers, on different social media platforms, on different electronic media platforms, and the rest of them. So that is just what we are doing this evening, to remind Mr. Don Ubani and his allies that we are already aware, we are already in the know, we are already in touch with the media houses that have received your, sponsored, planned publications. And of course, I have swiftly responded to them. So when you read the lies, I have exposed your lies. I've made them to understand who you truly are, what you people represent. You people destroyed our state, you suffocated our democracy, you arrested our economic growth, you plundered our state, you caused the death of our people. So you guys are morally rotten. You people are unfit. If you limit what you're doing to criticism, to challenging the government, I know all kinds of things, but when you begin to indulge in these kind of atrocious acts in the name of pursuing whatever selfish political agenda, it exposes you as a bunch of terrible characters who are unfit to occupy public offices. You people are unfit to occupy public office because what you have done is terrible. When you people sponsored that press conference, wherein you accused the governor of sponsoring IPOB, of arming IPOB, of sending IPOB to burn down the state, to kill people and all that, that was when we concluded that you people are vicious, you people are dangerous. And that is why our people hate PDP, the opposition PDP, with passion. And your situation has been worsened by the performance of our governor, His Excellency Dr. Otti OFR. And we've always told you that if the governor could term you as an opposition leader, of course, nothing stops him from overrunning you guys this time around. He has the massive support of our people. So we must put our people in the know. We encourage our people to disregard whatever fabrications the PDP and their agents are coming up with. The state does not belong to them. They had the opportunity to do the right things and they refused to do the right things. So they are bruised, they are embittered, they are battered, they are frustrated. So they are determined to set the state ablaze, to come back to power. Of course, they will never have the opportunity to do so. As long as we do what is right, as long as we serve our people with sincerity, with commitment, with passion, with dedication, and we are going to do that. The governor we have is the governor chosen by the people, not the governor imposed by any godfather. Not the governor who came to power through the back door or through the window. This is a governor unanimously elected by the people, and he's determined to serve our people to the fullest. So we are using this opportunity to tell unsuspecting members of the public to disregard whatever propaganda PDP, through whoever and whatever platform, may be dishing out, to disregard and ignore all of them. Ignore them completely. Eyes on the ball. We have refused to use them as an excuse to say they are distracting us. We are facing governance, and that is the frustration they are having. Unlike what happened in the past, when they will tell you they were unable to perform because Governor Otti was in court, distracting them. Even though the governor was in, the then opposition leader, Dr. Otti, was in court to pursue a legitimate, a just cause, to recover his mandate that was stolen. But here, they do not have any case. They never came close to winning any election. They never had the support of our people because they betrayed our people, and our people unanimously rejected them. So their anger is misplaced. Their frustration is misplaced. Their bitterness is misplaced. The onslaught is misplaced. People should disregard them. They will come up with all kinds of things. Disregard all of them. Ignore them. Our people are smarter. This government is here to serve our people, to provide the gains of democracy, bring the gains of democracy to the doorsteps of our people. Leveling these kinds of false allegations are just, that are very dishonorable acts that must be condemned by every responsible citizen. You had the opportunity to do well. You couldn't do well. You didn't want to do well. You wore this apparel of invisibility. You saw yourselves as demigods. You thought Abians could do anything. You anchored your strength on the resources, on stolen public funds, and believed that you were going to have your way to rig elections and emerge. Unfortunately, Obingwa was demystified. Obingwa was exposed. The Obingwa Abracadabra was buried and has been buried forever and ever. So anybody that wants to win the election must serve our people. When the time comes, our people will come out to decide who will govern them. Now that you've lost, you've been defeated, you've been roundly defeated, and the cause have continued to say that you were thoroughly defeated, that you didn't stand any chance of winning that election, then you should respect yourself. Fabricating all kinds of lies, inciting people, hobnobbing with criminal elements you think could, can assist you to come back to power, making all kinds of useless promises, entering, into all kinds of agreements to pay billions to come back to power. It's a waste of time. The stolen public funds that's, the funds that still give you the bragging rights, that still give you the audacity to continue to, plot, must be taken back from you because the resources belong to our people. If you had conscience, then people wouldn't be doing what you're doing. The state belongs to us. Our governor is meeting the desires of our people. Our governor will continue to grow from strength to strength. Will continue to do well. Will continue to serve our people. Will continue to, make amends where mistakes may have been made. Will continue to perform better. That is how a responsible government behaves. And the governor wants to go down in history as a governor who came and set a standard beyond what was obtainable. Like he said, not just a governor that came and paid salaries and pensions and all those things. No. As a governor who came and read, and rewrote the checkered history of our people. So we are calling on all those people who are coming up. The man calls his group, Mr. Don Ubani, he calls his group, what's the name of that group that he formed? He's the sole owner of that group. Immediately after they were defeated, he calls it Center for Equity and Eradication of Rural Poverty. Center for Equity and Eradication of Rural Poverty. It's good that the man realized that they brought massive rural poverty in Okwa land. He contributed immensely in destroying Okwa land. He cannot make reference to a single achievement he brought to Okwa land. And now he will hide under the umbrella of of groups that don't exist, of a group that doesn't exist at all, to spew all kinds of gibberish, to mislead people, to incite hate and violence and opprobrium. But our people are smarter. Our people are wiser. Our people will continue to support the government that is sincerely serving them. You want to incite the president? What do you know about the president? You think that Governor Lesoti plays in the local league? He has been playing in the national league for years as an opposition leader, as a banker. So the people you are trying to incite know him more than they know you people. They don't even know you. They are smarter. They know what they are just laughing at you. The first day you people made that publication, do you know where the governor was? They were laughing at you guys. Because you are being smart by half. You are being petty. You are being timid. You are being grossly irresponsible. There are kind of politics that people, shouldn't play. In 2020 or thereabouts, you people did similar thing. Wrote a petition against Governor Lesoti, sent to the Police Service Commission, alleging that he was a sponsor of IPOB. What did he do? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because he issued a release calling on security agents, to desist from carrying out extrajudicial killings of innocent citizens in different parts of the state. Then, as an opposition leader, made references to cases. The guy that was killed at Umueka, the guy that was killed at Obiungwa, the guy that was killed at Ohafia, the one they said was an only son. The governor made reference to these cases of extrajudicial killings. What did PDP Abia State do? Because they have not been with certain security, they wrote a petition accusing the governor, leveling false allegation, accusing the governor of sponsoring IPOB. Meanwhile, the cases in question had absolutely nothing to do with IPOB or any other group. These were individual persons that were killed extrajudicially, and the governor said, condemned it. So these people do not know what they have done to themselves. They actually do not know what they have done to themselves. You betrayed our people, you caused the deaths of our people, you presided over the affairs of Abia State for years. You plundered our commonwealth, you destroyed property, you destroyed houses in the name of trying to build roads. You never paid compensation. You never did anything remarkable in governance. You owed salaries and pensions, and yet you have the effrontery to want to come back to power. Because your plots of imposing another unprepared person as governor didn't work out. And since then you have been, behaving like a snake that had its head cut off. Abia is not anybody's personal estate. You people should be grateful to Abians that they tolerated your infamy. They tolerated your impunity. They tolerated your rascality over the years. They tolerated your audacity of criminality over the years. We should be grateful that they had the patience to tolerate it. Many states wouldn't have, tolerated what Abian tolerated. Unfortunately, you have the effrontery, you have the audacity, you have the guts to stay there at a time like this, when Abians are excited over the achievements being recorded by the governor they elected, not the governor imposed. After this live interactive session, I'm going to do a video, a recorded one that will be shared across different platforms, expose the PDP and Mr. Ubani and the allies who are coming up with all kinds of lies and fabrications, thinking that they are, they know that our people are at home with the atrocities. They know that our people have record, have knowledge of what the destruction they carried out in our state. So that is why they have now decided to go outside Abia to incite people to do all kinds of things, to fabricate, thinking that what they are doing, has the propensity to help them come back to power. How are you going to do it? How? Are you dealing with people who are dead? Are you dealing with people who are dumb? No. Don't forget how you survived us when we fought you as opposition. We fought you. You knew how you survived. You pegged through the nose, stealing our public fund, carrying billions up and down, running from pillar to post. We dared you. You saw consistency. The man who was the opposition leader, Governor Otti, faced issues, dwelled on issues, challenged you with facts and figures of your non-performance. He didn't go about fabricating all kinds of lies, sponsoring, telling people you are this, you are that. No, he didn't have time for that. So it's important, I remind Mr. Don Ubani, who resurrected a dead propaganda, a propaganda that couldn't fly before. Yes, the propaganda couldn't fly. Because when we issued our response to the previous propaganda, our friends, allies, different political parties shared it, including on the APC platforms. And they were mocking you people. They were mocking even a few persons who wanted to use that to impress the president to relaunch themselves. They were being made mockery of. You may wish to read what the man wrote. You now love Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Look at you, hypocrites. You love the president. When did the law start? Just us. It was the former US president, Mr. George Herbert Bush, who said, "We are given power not to advance our own purposes, neither to make great show nor name in the world. But there is only one use of power, and it is to serve our people." Our governor recognizes the importance of power. Our governor recognizes the fact that he was elected by the people to serve them. Our governor is mindful of the enormity of the expectation. In the next few days, he will fulfill his promise of clearing all pension arrears. It's going to happen. In the next few days, it's going to happen. That is a promise made. It's a promise that he's going to keep. And those are the things that frustrate these people. He knows that the essence of power is to serve, provide quality leadership, quality governance, quality services to our people. And that is what we are here to do. We are not here to behave like demigods. We are not here to drink Hennessy Paradise. We are not here to jump from one private jet to another in groups, flying from Abuja to US to Australia, or in the books, yes, or Australia. To which other country did they even go that time? They used to go and drink and come back. Those places. We don't have time for that. We're all here. If the governor wants to travel, he travels with one maximum of 3 persons. His PA, his ADC, his chief details, and 1 or 2 other persons. If it's a business trip, then that is when you see 5, 6, 7 persons. And I'm sure you've seen that it's investors that are coming here to have meetings with him, to look for him, to interact with him, to explore areas of possible investment. He's not the one jumping from Canada to Australia to Brazil and all the rest of them in the name of looking for investors. No. You know, our governor has always told you that investments and investors come only to a place that has been prepared for them. And that is why the governor is working assiduously to prepare the enabling environment, to prepare the environment for investors to come and invest. We are not claiming to have achieved everything. We are not claiming to have transformed Aide overnight. We are not claiming we are infallible. We are not claiming that there are no challenges and there are no problems since we assumed office. We are not claiming that there may not have been 1 or 2 or few mistakes concerning the verification exercise or payment of pension and salaries, but we are taking the bull by the horns and we are doing the needful to sanitize the place, to make our people happy, to give them responsible governance, responsible leadership. And by next year, by the time the governor would have started implementing a budget prepared by him, then you will see that Abia State will be turned around. That Abia will wear a new look. We are going to start on a clean slate. We are going to write our very checkered history. We are going to lay a solid foundation. The governor will strive to build a formidable institution that will benefit all citizens. That is what we want to achieve. Our desire here is to build institutions that will outlive every occupant of every public office. That is how it should be. We came here meeting empty offices, looted by individuals who never came into those offices with anything. They looted everywhere. Stole televisions, stole air conditioners, took away conference tables and seats and all the rest of them. Those were the things we saw on ground. That is what it's like we just met a newly created state, started afresh. It would have been better. We were inheriting a newly created state. And at least you know that you will not be inheriting the liabilities of some unproductive people. You say they are staff, people who were just employed for settlements, or to use them as conduits in one way or the other. And the governor is surmounting these problems. He's trying to. So we are going to make our people proud. And we will not allow PDP be a distraction. You can say ours. That's why we've ignored a whole lot of things. For example, some of the things they're talking about the budget proposal. When you listen to some of them, you begin to ask yourself, what type of characters are these? You just ignore them because you are busy with a whole lot of things, and the energy that you deploy responding to some of them, you just give one-off response and move on and face governance, because our people need responsible leadership. Some persons are even making reference and telling us that our education sector has no problem, that investing money in education is a waste of. When you look at those things, it sounds bizarre, it sounds mysterious, it doesn't make any sense. So what do? You respond to that? No, you respond briefly and move on. Because when somebody begins to assess our education sector from the point of view of WAEC results, then you know that something is wrong with the person or with his understanding of the system. Because in the first place, you can't use exams that were written in special centers. Begin to essentially look at infrastructure. Look at the kind of students being produced. Look at the kind of students being, that are coming out from primary and secondary schools. Look at the infrastructures on ground. Look at the environment where our students are trained. Look at the skills they have after graduation. Take these things into consideration. You'll be able to establish whether they are doing well, whether we are doing well as a government, as a state, in the education sector or not. The government, since we came on board, we have been striving to get the JAM centers. They were de-accredited. They were all removed because of exam malpractices. So a few of them have been restored. Because of this government. When we came, I think we had only 2 centers. They were left behind because the rest were removed. Dozens of centers were removed because they served as places for exam malpractices. And some of those people who are talking do not even know all these things. They do not know the enormous effort being put in by the government to turn things around. And we are proud that both the federal government, multilateral agencies, individuals, institutions are ready to collaborate with us because they can see the sincerity of the governor. They can see the sincerity of the government. They can see the direction we are going. They can see the desire and the determination to do what is right. They can see that from the experience of the governor, that the man is determined to build a formidable institution that will ignite the much needed economic prosperity. Because when you get people build an enabling environment, companies will come, will return. The governor has already, through the appropriate ministries and departments and agencies, and of course the commissioners, listed all those factories, those industries that disappeared from Abia. One of them are coming back. That's original, or different as different companies are coming back. We're going to bring them back to life so that we create productivity, so that we have the platform to employ our youth. Unemployed youth that are scattered everywhere. A whole lot of things are happening. I just made reference to the percentage of, that was dedicated to use as pause in the budget, 3.1%, which is 17.577 billion. That's massive. But somebody will ask you, what is he doing for use? What is he doing? It's okay. By next year, the results will begin to manifest and people will begin to appreciate the commitment of this government, the sincerity of this government, the determination of this government to achieve the much desired results that will turn around the fortunes of Ndabia. I want to call on Abians to ignore the PDP, ignore my senior friend, Mr. Ubani, who has chosen the path of perfidy, as a way of venting his anger, of expressing his frustration over the defeat of March 18, 2023. That day marked a watershed in our history. That day marked a new dawn. That day heralded the new Abia. Abia Ohoro. They will ask you, Abia Ohoro Isokwa. Abia Ohoro Isokwa. Abia Ohoro Isokwa. So this is a new Abia. And the new Abia, we do we do the right things. We try to improve, we try to do better, we try to make our people proud. So we urge our people, whether you're from Abia or not, wherever you're listening from, wherever you're watching from, please ignore the PDP. Our governor did not disrespect the president. Our governor never ordered that the portrait of the president, should not be kept in his office. Our governor does not have any problem with the president, has never disrespected the president, and could not have ordered that the portrait of the president shouldn't be in his office. He could not have done so. So we are facing governance, and these guys are wasting their time. For them, everything is politics, politics, and politics. They spent years playing politics and abandoned governance. We do not want to fall into that trap. We do not want to do the same thing, because we are told that the true definition of insanity is doing the same thing repeatedly and expecting a different result. No, we want to do something different. We want to do a new thing so that we can get good, positive results. Thank you. We'll continue to interact. We'll continue to interact and interrogate. We'll continue to discuss issues of public importance, issues of utmost importance, issues that border on the welfare of our people, issues that border on governance. Like I said, in the next few days, a lot of things will happen with respect to payment of the pension arrears, the backlog of pension arrears. And you will hear it's going to be loud. And like our governor has said, in the new year, there's going to be a massive, fantastic package for our workers across board. Earlier today, during an event at the International Conference Center organized by Ministry of Health, the first annual Council on Health, organized by Ministry of Health, the governor did assure that he has a fantastic welfare package for those, in the health sector, which is going to unfold early next year. And of course, there was an applause. He's going to keep, to every promise he has made to Ndabia. Thank you. Keep hope alive. We are not campaigning. There is nothing to, we are here to serve our people. And we are under obligation at all times to speak to our people, to offer explanations, to, respond to our people. You understand that a whole lot of issues are coming up here and there. In the next few days, of course, the governor will address our people. He's going to address our people. A whole lot of issues will be tackled. A whole lot of issues are going to be discussed. For the first time, he will address Abians as a governor of the state for the Christmas. He has always addressed them during the Christmas as an opposition leader. And this time around, he's going to address them as the governor, the servant leader, a governor that is humbly ready and prepared and committed to serving them. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless you.